The Rogue Valley in southern Oregon is one of the most bountiful agricultural regions in the state. Since the 1930s, Medford has been home to the mail-order fruit gift company Harry and David, and thereby the area has come to be known widely for pears and more recently wine, beer, and the organic frozen food of Amy's Kitchen. But for the cannabis lovers, the herbs that grow in the mild climate and gentle, varied topography of the Rogue Valley and environs has a legendary reputation for some of the very best outdoor organic cannabis anywhere. So, with an abbreviated form of legal adult-use marijuana coming to select medical dispensaries in Oregon on October 1st, I spent the night of September 30th in Medford with a plan to visit a few retail outlets on the first day of recreational sales. U.S. Route 99 runs from Canada to Mexico, and by my count there are 7 medical cannabis dispensaries located on the 15-mile stretch of 99 between Medford and Ashland. My first stop was the Pharm to Table dispensary on the south side of Medford. Pharm to Table is a model farm and community-focused dispensary with a well-actualized passion for bringing regional, premium quality cannabis to patients and now customers. The small parking lot in front of the new building is crowded. Taxis dropped people off and took them away. Provision for overflow parking was made in a nearby lot, and a steady line of a dozen people or so hovered outside the front door. A television crew arrived, and before they could turn their camera lens on the line, a man jogged away from the group and hid behind a fence in the camera's glare for fear of retribution at work, he told me. But otherwise, people were genial and celebratory for a cool, overcast Thursday morning at 9 a.m. The line moved slowly and steadily. For every customer who departed, another was ushered in. A woman seated at a desk greeted me warmly in the waiting room and showed me to an adjacent office where I met one of the managers, Crystal Plotner. She sat across a table and smiled and appeared to appreciate a moment of relative quiet. Crystal became acquainted with medicinal qualities of cannabis after being diagnosed with thyroid cancer while in college. I asked her what legal cannabis in Oregon means for her business and for the marijuana movement.
I mean, obviously, it's incredibly exciting. We've been waiting for this day for a while. I find it incredibly fulfilling working in medical marijuana. But part of what's really necessary to actually destigmatize the use of cannabis isn't just to quarantine it to only being useful for medicinal purposes, but also that it has its benefits in the community as a whole. It's okay just to want to get high and have a good experience or relax. I mean, so many studies are coming out showing the benefits of using marijuana instead of different drugs and prescription pills and alcohol and the reduction of different kinds of fatalities and overdoses and things like this. So I think it's a really positive move for the state as a whole and hopefully eventually the nation.
When I asked Crystal what legal cannabis means for this rich agricultural region, she said she sees both economic and cultural opportunities.
It's huge for Southern Oregon, as it is. I mean, Southern Oregon's kind of the breadbasket of cannabis cultivation in Oregon as it is. It has the perfect climate for it. It's very similar conditions to Northern California, which is famed for its cannabis as well. And I think it's a really excellent economic opportunity and cultural opportunity for so many of the growers, small-time growers that have been here producing for decades anyway, and now they can finally emerge out of the black market. And there's the Southern Oregon Sun Growers Guild, and there's different organizations now where they're getting together and they're really working on their branding. Instead of having to sell things on the black market, you don't really know where it came from. Southern Oregon can get the attention and the fame that it deserves for what it produces.
I asked if she was concerned the medical marijuana program might be subsumed by the adult use system and that patient needs may be compromised.
Yeah, that actually is a sincere concern of mine, particularly with what happened in Washington with them combining the two. Personally, I'd really like to see them continue to be separate. I don't think that medical should be taxed, and I think that the range of different products available to medical patients needs to remain open. I mean, this whole industry evolved out of the needs of the medical marijuana users, and I think it should stay that way, and I really don't want to see it get subsumed by the retail side of things, and I want to make sure that prices do stay affordable. I mean, it's people's medicine. Health insurance doesn't cover it. You can't get tax write-offs on it, and I mean, we have a giant billboard, and we're known because we have the $4 gram, which is ridiculously low. We don't make a profit off of that, but we want to make sure that people can get their medicine affordably. And of course, with retail coming, there will be 25% taxes, but we want to make sure that those prices stay affordable for our medical patients.
What's next for Farm to Table?
I mean, we're definitely just really excited to be serving this area right now, but we are looking if the opportunity arises to expand and continue providing these services to different areas that might be interested. But we're really excited to be part of this community right now.
When we were done chatting, Crystal gave me a brief tour of the new showroom.
Okay, here we are in the showroom. This is actually not a very typical, it doesn't remind me of my father's marijuana dispensary, so to speak.
Yeah, absolutely. We tried to create more of like a boutique gallery, retail feel. For one, an industry that's been stigmatized for so long, we really want to move it away from feeling like you're going in and buying something shady. It should be enjoyable, and we want to elevate the experience for people. Elevating that experience elevates the product, and it should get the respect that it deserves, not just something you buy in a brown paper bag or a Ziploc bag in some shady alleyway. So it's really part of normalizing the experience. We have different buds of all the flowers displayed in bell jars, and then there's also large mason jars that they can smell, so you can kind of interact with the product more and actually know what you're getting, kind of the way that it would be if you went to a farmer's market. There's different displays around that actually give information about some of our vendors that make these products so that you feel like you know who's making these. Again, more of a farmer's market feel. This picture is actually of our farm here locally.
Wow.
This children's book, we're actually really excited. It's written by a local author, and it's to introduce children, especially now that it's recreational and it's not this taboo subject anymore, kind of what cannabis is, but of course it's a bit of an allegory. It doesn't mention it, it just refers to it as a special plant and kind of deals with some of the stigmas and rumors, and there's a fantastic part about the kings that didn't like the plant and kept all the seeds and wouldn't let the people have it, but the people demanded it, and they use it as medicine, but they also use it to have fun and be silly, and these are things that sometimes adults need to do, and that it's a great plant and you can make clothes out of it, and it's a really cute book, and so we're excited to be working with these authors on that side of things as well to kind of educate, because it's out there now, and it shouldn't be this, shameful thing that, oh, my parents smoked pot, These are all what the product actually looks like. I mean, one of the things that dealing with the emergence of edibles, very often, days of old, the packaging is absolutely terrible.
Right, yeah.
And so we're trying to normalize this as well, upscale it, allow people to see what it looks like. It's not your grandpa's pot brownie. These things taste delicious now. They've really improved their process. A lot of them you can't even tell the flavor, which of course is why increasingly there needs to be appropriate packaging to make sure that children aren't eating it, and making sure that all of this stuff is state compliant and that the dosage is easily readable, because these are delicious and it is easy to eat far too much of it,
Yes,
especially once you get the munchies.
Yeah, it does. It's beautiful, though. It really
Yeah,
is.
I mean, like, these truffles
Yeah.
look fantastic.
The concentrates you were mentioning, you can't sell them right now for lack of adequate regulation, but that's really something that, I mean, is this something you guys make here, or locally? It's, I would imagine it's quite a...
Some of these would be our own line that we source. That would be the Pharm Fresh line in our own cartridges. But others would be, Oregon or locally based or producers. Jolly Bee, Forever Dinks out of Portland. Fat Packs is local. True North is out of Portland. Ohm is local. So there's a variety that come through. Obviously, they all have to be from the state of Oregon.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
I thanked Crystal for the tour and decided to do a little shopping before I departed. I will admit I was disappointed that concentrates such as waxes and butters and shatters and hashes cannot be sold to recreational customers until regulations are written and fully implemented sometime next year. So I bought a few grams of Phantom Cookies, a sativa-dominant hybrid, fresh outdoor weed that did not disappoint in rich, old-school sativa taste and an energetic and intense high. High grade on all counts.
What about this purchase today, man? What does
I love
it
it.
mean?
It's major. It's big for us. It's big for Oregon that we can just go in and purchase recreationally.
What does this mean to you to come in and just as a citizen, buy some cannabis?
I feel like it's about time that we're able to buy some cannabis because, it's a plant that grows out of the ground. I don't see why it's such a big deal.
Well, is this progress?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Nice.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Have a good day.
Yep, you too.